Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Bree. Today's video, we're going to be going through all the series I hope to finish soon, hopefully this year, but I have a lot of series I'm currently in the middle of, and while I do need to make progress on them, I also just get very excited to start new series, so I've created a list of books I picked up recently or have been on my shelf for a while that I would like to get to soon, and yeah, without further ado, let's just get into them. So let's start with one that is on my list and I recently picked it up and I hope to get to it very soon, so that's why I am putting it first. But this is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This is a loose retelling of the 1001 Night story, so what we're following is the descendant of the woman who tells the tales to the Sultan. So we're also following a thief and they have to go on an adventure that is going to promise a lot of adventure, finding lost relics and things like that. And so it sounds really good and I really would like to get to it. I think there's one other book out in the series, so that is something that I could kind of read through as it's coming out, which tends to work for me really well. So that is one I hope to get to very soon. So this is an author that I've loved a lot and I've read a lot of their backlists, but this is a series that I've been putting off mainly because everyone loves it and I'm a little intimidated by it. I think because everyone loves it, even though I love the author. And that's Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. So I believe this is following different characters every book in the series. I think it's kind of more like companion books in the same world. And in this one, you're following a paladin and a fugitive, and they have a romance, and I just think it's an adventure story. I really loved Swordheart by T. Kingfisher, and that is in the same world as this. So I've been really wanting to get to it, but because everyone loves it so much, I think I just get a little nervous that I won't like it, even though I've liked everything else T. Kingfisher's written. So I put it off for a little bit, but I would like to get to it. I also read the Clock Tower Wars, whatever that is, I'll put it up on the screen. And that I think is also in the same world, and I didn't love them as much, and that was like the first series I've tried from T. Kingfisher, so I think that's also what's leading to the intimidation with this one. Next we have another recent pickup, and that's The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan. This is during the Spanish Inquisition, I believe. Christianity is taking over and they are forcing the Jewish people either to flee or to convert. And the two characters I think that we follow in here decide to flee. And I believe the woman gets sucked into an alternate world and then the guy is trying to rescue her. Kind of like, it reminds me of City of Brass where there's a world within a world, where it's like operating next to our own, and that premise really intrigues me. It's a big one, so I'm a little intimidated, but I do like historical fantasy a lot, and I've heard good things about this, and it is a series. There's one other book out. I don't know how many are gonna be in the series. My guess is a trilogy, but I'm not sure. The next one is called The Republic of Salt. It's also blurbed by C.L. Polk. Polk? Why can't I say Polk? It's blurbed by C.L. Polk. I feel like I'm saying that weird. I don't know. And I really like their work, so, you know, I don't really think blurbs mean a whole lot, but sometimes when I see an author, it makes me, you know, more interested in it. And then I have The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. This is where I'd like to start with N.K. Jemisin because I'm very intimidated, especially the Broken Earth trilogy. I know everyone really loves it, but the second person kind of intimidates me, and so I saw someone say this is a good spot to start. It's just a duology called the Dreamblood duology, so I'm gonna start here and see what I like with N.K. Jemisin. I just feel so intimidated by the 5th season that I want to start somewhere a little bit easier. So to me it sounds like in this society they use dreams to help like heal or soothe or corrupt, and we're following someone who is like really high up in the like branch that deals with the dreams, and then they start to have to question everything that they knew about what this world is doing with the dreams. And I always like that when you have someone who is forced to rethink everything they thought they knew. I have high hopes for it because I've heard just wonderful things about N.K. Jemisin's writing, and yeah, I want to be a fan. Sorry, Pippi is having a time today. He is needing attention, so if you see him in the background. But yeah, that is what I hope to pick up really soon by N.K. Jemisin, and then hopefully I can get into the rest of the series as they go on. Also, if you'd like to leave a comment down below if there's any one of these series that you think that I would really like or you want to see me pick up soon, just leave a comment down below and I will hopefully get to them sooner rather than later. This one is a sci-fi series, which I'm a little intimidated by, but I saw Riley read it and I really was intrigued. So it's The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. This, honestly, I picked up because of her, and I've been wanting to get more into sci-fi and explore what I can like in sci-fi. So I don't have a ton of knowledge about this. All I really know is that they are part of like a sisterhood where I think they serve the men and do whatever the men want, and we're following, I think, one who's very high up, and then either she gets like cast out or she's supposed to spy on someone, and I believe they're like paid well, but they kind of are just like there as like trophies for the husbands who like own them. So I'm really intrigued by this like premise. It sounds very interesting and it sounds like a bit epic, so I'm hoping I like it. It's just one of those books that when I heard her talking about it so much and so highly, it just really made me intrigued, and again, I want to get into sci-fi, so I hope to get to this one very soon. And then I have We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. This is a new series by him. I read the Thursday Murder Club series and absolutely loved it. The last book, which I think he's continuing on that series, but he's stopping for a while, that one just made me bawl my eyes out. So I'm very excited for this one. This one I believe is a father-daughter duo, and they're amateur sleuths. They're solving murders together. Yeah, so he is a retired ex-investigator. So apparently she is on a remote island protecting a author until a dead body and a bag of money end up showing up, and she asks her father for help. And I just think that I really like the way he writes older characters, and he has a good like humor to it that really works for me. So I picked up this one just because I had loved the Thursday Murder Club so much, and I'm excited to give this one a try. And I don't know how many books in the series, but I am positive this is going to be a series. Oh, I have a signed copy. I don't know if you can see that. That's so cool. So yeah, I hope to get to this one soon. I really like a good, fun mystery series, and I think Richard Osman does it really well, and he balances a lot of things that I really like, which is like serious topics. He talks about aging and losing people and grief as they get older in the Thursday Murder Club, and he also seamlessly incorporates humor within that and lightheartedness and fun, and I just think it was such a good blend, and it really worked for me. So I am very excited to get to this series. I actually have two more series here to talk to you about that I forgot about, and the first one is Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. I picked this up on a whim, and I really wanted to get to it because I liked The Hexologist by this author. I liked the wacky, kind of weird vibes that he brings, and I think this is supposed to be the same. In this, you're following, I forget his name, Thomas Senlin, and he's like bringing his new wife to this Tower of Babel, which is like tiers that you go up, and he loses her, and then he's trying to find her, and he has to go through all the different tiers that have different weird things going on, and like feels like maybe a puzzle-y type story. And I just think that sounds really good. It seems both quirky, fun, and like a mysterious maze type story, and I think that that could really work for me, especially because I did really love The Hexologist and do want to continue on with that series. I'm just excited to see what he does with his like most famous series. So I have this on my TBR, and I want to get to it soon because if I like it too, I would like to get the rest of the books in the series. So then I have this entire series, and I would really like to get to it soon. It's The Wolf of Orignaro by K.S. Veloso. I'm not sure what the series name is called, but I think it might be called, oh, it's called Chronicles of the Wolf Queen. And from what I understand, we have a young woman who is kind of on the brink, their society's on the brink of war, and she agrees to marry this prince from the other land to create peace, but then he disappears before they can get married, and it devastates the kingdom. And then years later, she got an invite from him to visit, and she travels across the sea to go find him, and then things ensue from there. It's a trilogy, and it sounds really good. It sounds like something I could get really into. It offers a lot of like political intrigue, which I think works for me. I think in epic fantasy, like a ton of war or like slow adventure, I don't think works for me, but I think when you give me political intrigue and characters that I can deep dive into, I really can get into it. So I am hoping that this is what this series gives me, and I've heard good things about it, but it's not like a super popular series, so I don't really have a ton of expectations going into it, which I think is really good, because a lot of times now I go into books knowing what people's thoughts are, and I really find it fun to go into a series not really knowing what a ton of people think about it. So I'm excited to get to this one, and I really hope that I like the series because I do own the whole thing. So there you are. There are all the series I hope to start soon, hopefully this year or in early next year. I love series. I am really horrible about finishing series, but I love to start them and continue on. And sometimes what I like to do is read like one a month until I finish the series. So I'm hoping I can do that with some of these series and just see where I get to and what progress I can make this year. But let me know what other series too you've been reading down below or that you want to get started with in this year. If you're interested in any of these, we can do a read through where I just like open a Discord or something and we can talk about the books. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. Anyway, I will let you go. Pippi's staring at me needing attention. So thank you for watching and I will see you next time.